Greetings, vac fans, and welcome to mini meet number 16. Wow, they just keep on coming. So on the left, we have Thomas Rechtenwald's PN12, and you can see what kind of condition it's in. On the right, we do not have Thomas Rechtenwald's PN12. It's a relative of his, and she uses it a lot, and obviously doesn't clean it much. So the power nozzle dirt, well, I guess I can kind of expect that. But will you look at this? I mean, this is a chunk here. There. Look at that. I bet that'll make a little bit of a difference.
Be glad you're not here to smell this, folks.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of a smell. So, I have released the smell. Now I can smell it. So this is what's the year?
It's a 2016.
So this is a 2016 E2 2-speed black.
I actually am the one that sold it to my aunt too.
Oh, okay.
For the brief, very short period of time I worked for Rainbow.
Okay, so I'm going to do the best that I can to clean this up, and we're going to do some tests on this, because what's so interesting is if you see, I don't know if you can see that in the frame or not. Yeah, a little bit. You see the one that Thomas donated to me over here, and this one is an older one, and I guess they call this like a platinum blue or
platinum, blue, silver.
So here's the thing. This one has a motor. It's 2-speed, but it's rated at 12 amps. And you've seen in the other videos I have in my playlist where it runs at a particular power and has a certain amount of airflow and suction. This one apparently is rated at 9.5 amps.
That's what it says on the rating.
So that's what it says apparently right here. I'll get you in closer so we can verify that. So if this one is at 12 amps and this one's 9.5, what is this one going to test at? Has Rainbow gone down with their airflow and suction, or have they gone more efficient and have the same airflow and suction from the canister? But before I do those tests, I'm going to try to clean this stuff up as best I can.
We got some cleaning to do.
Yep, got a little bit of cleaning to do. I'm not sucking that up.
Oh, no. Just for reference, you might want to use a filter out of your V2, because I know her filter is, I know it's disgusting. I mean, if her face smells like wet barn, you can imagine what the filter smells like.
I'm going to have to scrape that a little bit, I suppose. You got a belt. This is the Solaris. Clean that well up while I'm here.
Like I mentioned to you earlier, that one went to the beach.
Yeah.
It went to the beach and was doing heavy duty sand pickup.
Yeah. So now I showed you the differences between the two. What I'm going to do is just kind of zoom in on this. So I've got Thomas cleaning out the separator and also the plastic rug plate, while I'm going to try to tackle this mess as best I can. Obviously, I think there's a red rug involved here somewhere. Some red fibers. Oh, there we go. Got it started. Hey, that's cool. It's unraveling. Ooh. Oh, and it's released. Its scent has become decidedly more odoriferous. Yippee. So that's one thing that I can't really convey through a YouTube video is the smell. There's that blob. So what my understanding is the water's emptied out of the bowl mostly, but the whole machine is put away wet, or at least very damp. And that creates all kinds of problems. Well, it's looking better. It's not smelling any better, but it's looking better. Somehow I don't think a brush roll works too well using it like this. Reminds me of, like, say, winding some thread around something like, oh, say a spool. The only thing is this is supposed to pick up the dirt, not hold the thread. Okay, so that's an improvement, I think. And here's the blob of what I managed to get out. Yeesh. Now we need to vacuum that a bit. That's nice that you can get a spare belt. Let's see. Give me a good focus here. You can do it. There we go. So Thomas cleaned the separator, and I scrubbed the main suction unit there as much as possible. Hopefully it won't affect the test a whole lot. That's a little better looking, I think. So let's get this back on, and let's get to testing this E2 black. Come on. These little side brushes, I always wonder about the bristles getting stuck periodically in there. Yay.
If you look closer, you can actually see a date code of 216, and this machine is from 2016.
Oh, this right here?
Yeah, 216.
Okay, so I guess that's the date code on the PN. All right, and of course, I guess that would be the serial number. All right, fantastic. Okay, I hope you can see that. We're looking at 9.5 amps with just the canister running itself, obviously on high. And then a little farther over there says with motorized nozzle, 10.5 amps. And it still says model E2 type 12. So the power rating has changed. Well, let's measure that and see if it's actually changed. I just love exposing manufacturer lies. So we have this cleaned up E2 black, and I've got my power meter plugged in. So with nothing running, we're sitting at 122.5 volts, and let me put the current down there. See, it reads in amps, and we're at all zeros. So let me put it on low power or air cleaning mode. I like the lights. That's kind of a nice feature. It's nice to see it. Okay, so we're at around 0.5 amp. So this is going to be somewhere near, say, 60 watts, a little bit less than 60 watts. So remember, what's printed on the ratings plate says 9.5 amps. So let's turn it on high and see what it reads. Well, obviously that is nowhere near 9.5 amps. Try 11.5 amps. Just to prove it's on and running. And that drops me down to 121.4 volts under load of about 11.5 amps. Okay, so here's yet another example of a manufacturer literally just making power specs up. Absolutely making it up. So as far as I can tell, the motor in here and the way that this performs should be, famous last words, the same thing as the previous two speeds. Even the gold and the old platinum that I have should be the same thing. But let's go ahead and do some suction and airflow tests and find out. But 9.5 amps? Nope, not even close. All right, let's see what this rainbow does.
Quick notes.
What's that?
His had, yours had, the gold had 90, your platinum had 80, my platinum had 86. Let's see what this one gets.
See what this one does.
They vary a little bit.
Okay, here we go. It's gonna get loud. 82, 4. Okay, so we're at 84, so it kind of almost splits the difference.
You have manufacturer variances.
Yeah.
Nothing to be like.
So let's try it at the end of the hose. Now, suction for the hose. So, Thomas, do the honors. Okay, you can kill it. Looks like about 82, I think I saw. So, pretty good. So, let's do maximum airflow. See how it compares. I'm guessing it's going to be the same as the platinum ones that I have. And, you know, the gold. Away we go.
About 90-ish at the air inlet.
Yeah. Now, I do have a brand new, or nearly brand new, air filter in the back. We're not using the one that came with this one, which is really terrible, and Thomas has said he wants to replace it. bringing it up?
26099.
Yeah. What do you got?
Wait a minute. How's that conversion factor go again?
Okay, so
260.
yeah, a 0.0260099 times and then 3720, and we are at 97.
0.1.
Yeah, 97.1 CFM.
That's what mine had exactly.
Mm-hmm. So no real change over the last dozen some odd years of E2s. I mean, very, very small differences. Okay, let's do airflow at the hose now. All right, now we're set up to do some airflow at the hose. Let me get this adjusted. My anemometer stuck in here the right way. All right, let her rip, Thomas. All right, that'll do it.
What was you getting?
So we are at 3071 feet per minute times 0.099, and well, we might say 26099. Be nice to type in the right numbers. So we're at 80.2 CFM.
That's about what mine had.
Yep. So that's not bad. All right. Oh, and by the way, if any of you are jumping up and down saying, why aren't you using your new anemometer? It's because I haven't had a chance to check the calibrations on everything just yet. It's a very arduous process. It takes a little while, and I haven't had a chance to do that just yet. So, all right, this thing is still holding in. Now let's put it on the airflow box and see what it pulls with the power nozzle. Well, after a little bit of testing and trading out wands and hoses and whatnot, unfortunately, see there's Thomas there in the back, control of the canister. Unfortunately, Thomas and I are somewhat disappointed in what you're about to see with the power nozzle airflow. So just when you think you've seen it all, it drops even lower. Now, I do have to say, in all fairness, when I went and used this PN12 a while back, I cleaned the insides of it with a Q-tip and Armor All. I've not had a chance to do that with this. So I am sure if I cleaned it up that some of the measurements would definitely go up. But we happen to measure about a 14-inch suction reduction right here. And that also means some airflow is going to go with it, unfortunately. Add that to this machine is probably a little more beat up, and unfortunately you have airflow that is, well, disappointing. Okay, hit it, Thomas. I'll let that run for a few more seconds. Maybe it'll hit 1900.
Hold on a second.
Oh, it hit 1909.
Hold on, I just thought of something.
What's that?
Look at it now.
1909. Oh, you just took the end cap off the filter.
All the end caps are taken off of all the other ones.
Okay, so all right, we got a tiny bit more. 1909. You know the air filter cap.
See if it drops.
Well, I have it set on max peak, so let's see what we have here. 1909. Yeah, okay, so we're all disappointed here. 49.8 nozzle CFM. So about 50 nozzle CFM. So that's, and the power nozzle isn't running, so that's almost 10 CFM less. Oh, okay, look, it did pop up just a tiny little bit. Anyway, around 50 nozzle CFM. So that's a bit of a disappointment. So maybe this just needs to be kind of a lesson to Rainbow owners. Keep your power nozzles and your wands and your connections and whatever clean. Otherwise, you're going to end up losing cleaning power. So that's quite a reduction in airflow. And like I mentioned before, we tried an older hose I have and an older single piece wand that you saw in a previous video from way back when, and we got almost an extra 10 CFM. So that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Yeah, the two-piece wands, yeah, they leak. What can I say?
There's no problem with the hose going to the motor unit. It's when you start getting right here and going on down.
Yeah. So it's an issue. And just for laughs, I'm going to pull this off and see what we have for suction at the nozzle, but don't expect much. All right, here we are. Going to do suction at the power nozzle for this dirty PN12. All right, let her rip, Thomas. 2, 4, 6. Okay, you can turn it off. So yes, there is a leak. So the leak could be because seals are dirty or whatever. So I've never run this E2 Black with the nifty little lighted water bowl. I've got experience with the PN12.
It makes a huge difference, and when you're vacuuming, you know when your water's dirty and when it needs changed. It really makes a difference.
And you got a little airflow relief up here. And you have a PN lock. You can actually lock it here. Alright, so there's some differences.
The newer one has a longer hose, too.
Oh yeah, the hose is about a foot longer. I really appreciate that longer hose. That's great. Yeah, I like the longer hose, so that's nice. It's just 1 foot longer.
I'm a little bit different. I like the shorter one better. You don't get tangled up as easy.
Oh, and I like the dolly. Yeah, the dolly is super nice.
The newer dollies have 5 wheels. The older ones have 4.
It maneuvers easier on my carpet anyway. So it definitely makes great carpet lines. The PN here has great agitation, topically speaking. Really moves that pile.
The PN12 is a phenomenal power nozzle. It really is. It's just those... Rainbow has got a problem with not testing their stuff before they patent and sell it. We got wands here that leak like a sieve.
Yeah. They're a little leaky.
You could pour sand through it and it'd come out popping out little holes.
So here is the total power usage of the E2 Black and the PN12 running. So we're hitting almost 12.5 amps.
12.5 exactly.
Yep. Let it.
Alrighty, so we're closing up with mini me number 16.
16, yeah.
Yeah. So we just did a big gaggle test of my Ant's Rainbow E2, which is the newest unit you can come out today. We found out that it's kind of misperforming.
Poorly.
Yeah. If you want the best out of Rainbow airflow wise, you need to have... You could use the E2 Black's motor unit, but you need to have this hose, this one straight one, not...
Yeah, one piece instead of two piece.
And you can get this power nozzle online with the cord to come up here to the hose. That'll bump you up to 59 CFM. That'll give you the most airflow. And
Yeah, with the brush roll not spinning, yeah.
This power nozzle is rather expensive on line. You can get them at Good Vac. It's like $200 and something, but that's what this is. I bought this a couple of years ago. It was worth it, really, in all honesty.
Yeah, so upgrade your older E2 series, and the newer E2 series just doesn't quite seem to be up to snuff. But be that as it may, I mean, one PN12 that we tested, the one that's actually by your feet, that one I cleaned with a cotton swab and an Armor All to try to get all the seals as best as possible. The other one, you saw me clean it, but I definitely didn't do nearly as thorough a job. So there's a leak in there somewhere, but they're both PN12 power nozzles. But it was a little disappointing in that if you use the machine and you don't clean it very well, and a lot of people won't. I mean, how many people take apart their power nozzles? You could experience maybe up to a 10 CFM loss. And if you're only at around close to 60 CFM and you drop down to 50, that's going to make a difference. You're talking a good solid 20% loss. And of course, you saw the suction loss. That was about cut in half as well. So I guess it's just a reminder to keep your power nozzles clean.
Clean your whole rainbow. I mean, you're paying $2,000 something for a vacuum. Take care of it. Don't be a moron and abuse it and just trash it like my aunt has done hers. Sorry, no offense, Aunt Sandy. But another thing too, if you have an older Rainbow E2 Type 12, don't let a Rainbow salesman say, "Oh, our brand new unit is so much better. It can outperform your older E2." No. Put this power nozzle on it, an older E2, and it'll make it run like brand new.
Oh, it's fabulous. It's a great upgrade. Absolutely, hands down, a fabulous upgrade if you can afford it.
Absolutely. So this is closeout of mini meet number 16, and that's all for this one.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Happy vacuuming.
See you later.